Yes, yes, yes. Uh-oh. It's Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. Was that like a replay? Replay of the impact? Sudden impact. OMG. Let me fix my screen. What's going on here? Let's get this right. Okay. How's that looking? Okay, looks good. Hello and welcome, one and all. You are in tune to Boxing Talk with Rafi. What number are we on? As a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat, let's do the sound check. Make sure that the sound is copacetic. Let's kill the music just for a moment. Oh, lordy, lordy. Let's get this right for a moment. Oh, Lord. Let's kill the music just for a moment. Oh. Copacetic. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Let's bring the beats back. That's good. That's good. That's good. And we are, hold on. I haven't received the notification. Are we live? Well, there's people here. The numbers are going up. Good evening, John D. Lee. Let me fix my mic positioning. I can't see half of the screen. Is that a little bit better? Yes, it is. Activate warp drive. Warp drive activated. Count L up in the building. Salute to you. Salute to everybody. Who else we got? Who else we got up in here? And it's the DJ Georgie Porgy. Let me clear my throat. The Philip Carl Roberts is up in here. And the Lisa Bales. How do you do? One and all. How you doing, Lisa? Okay. It's good to have everybody up in here. And let us not tarry. Uh-oh. Where's my manners? Where are my manners? Where am I dropping this? Dang, got a hell of a lot of windows open. What's this? Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good to paste this. Like so. Now you know. Okay, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Okay, we got that up in there. Boom. Okay. Okay, we're good. Okay. So, what is on the menu today? Okay, so it's the duck crisis epidemic. There is an epidemic of duck soup going around. Now it's hit the heavyweight division. And it ain't pretty. It ain't pretty. We're going to have to talk about it. Okay. We're talking about a couple of other things, talking about a few things. But we're gonna have to go in. We're gonna have where are we going in? We're going in. We're going straight in. We're not gonna mess around. Okay. So which article am I pulling up? Which article am I pulling up for this one? Let's have a little looky. Okay, so, oh yeah, I know where we're going to go in. I know where we're going in. We're going in with the tweet from Dan Raphael. Let me pull that up. Let me pull that up. There it is. Okay, let's share that. see that? What's the visibility like? Okay, so let me blow that up just a little bit. What if I click on it? What happens if I click on it? What happens if I click on it? Enlarge. Okay, that's much better. Okay, I'm with you in a second, John. With you in a second. Okay. As per Team Filip Hrgovic, Joe Parker has also passed on the IBF Eliminator for #1 position and mandatory position. OMG. John D. Lee, how do you do?
Happy New Year, Raf.
Happy New Year to you, John. Happy New Year to you. Started up. Yeah.
I'm good. I wish boxing was.
This is some madness. This is some next level madness. I'll say it. Excuse me. I'll say it right now. Lee, come back, Don King. Come back, Don King. You would have made these guys fight each other. They'd have been on short money, yeah, but he'd have made them fight.
There's a Jamaican phrase that describes this sort of behaviour. Well, these two individuals. Yeah.
Which one?
Pussy hole.
OMG, it's a good thing your mic's slightly muffled. Some people probably wouldn't have made that out, but it's all good.
Roughing you up, man, that's what matters.
Yeah. Come back, Don King. That's what I'm saying. Come back, Don King. You'd have made these guys fight.
Yeah. The loss of words that I've just showed you. I'm stuttering.
It's crazy.
Don't understand. Like he just go the distance with Kevin Johnson in his last fight.
Kevin
Hrgovic, I'm on about.
That was his last fight, was it? Kevin Johnson, was it? Was that some Euro guy? So it's a European guy.
Let's have a look at his. He's not even looked that good.
Yeah, he didn't look good last time. That's
but it's been a while now. He's like, what's the actual problem?
Yeah. What is the fear factor? What is the fear factor involved in this thing? What is so scary about Filip Hrgovic? Oh gosh, his nickname is El Animal. Apparently, according to BoxRec, his nickname is El Animal.
It's a few fights since he went the distance with Johnson. In all fairness,
yeah, some Euro guys.
The guys he's been fighting are like a who's who of has-beens and nobodies.
Yeah, never was.
His name on there is Molina.
Yeah, I saw that. See that? I saw that. 2019. What is that? December 2019. It ain't. So what's the problem? That's a good point. What the hell is the damn problem? This year, they say they should just get rid of the cruiserweight division because the majority of them are heavy. How does that solve the problem? How does that solve the problem? Last fight was against Emir Akhmatovic.
Yeah, that well-known murderer.
yeah, that household name, Emir Akhmatovic. Parker and Ortiz ducking the fight makes no sense. It does depend on the rankings, but the last time I looked, #1 was vacant and #2 was Charles Martin, so the splits should be fine.
Both Ortiz and Parker are higher up in the ratings than Hrgovic. So Philip's absolutely right. They get the biggest split of the purse.
Damn, they get the biggest split of the purse. Wow.
And Hrgovic isn't even tied to Eddie.
No, he isn't.
So he can go on any platform.
Hold on a second. He's partly tied to Eddie by Matchroom. He's with the Sowlands and Matchroom.
I don't think that Eddie's going to stop that being on anything. No. from the point of view of sides of the street, I don't see that coming into it.
That wouldn't be a problem at all. That wouldn't be a problem at all. What's this going on here? I can see it now. The IBF are going to go through the rankings and Hughie Fury will step in again. Hey, I don't care who steps in at this point. I'll be honest with you. I just want to see somebody step in.
I'd be happy to see Hughie fighting.
I'll be happy to see you take this.
He might even win that.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a good chin. He knows how to defend himself.
He also stopped Hammer the other day. Something that who did Hammer just fight? The Cuban heavyweight, Sanchez. Something that Sanchez could not do. So Hughie Fury stopped Hammer. Well, Hammer said he had a shoulder injury, which is quite possible. Anyway, he was getting pieced up by Hughie Fury. So at this stage, I'd be happy to see Hughie Fury, and at least it would show he's got a little bit more cojones than the likes of Ortiz. Although, I mean, in fairness to Ortiz, we have to mention that he allegedly has a hand injury. Now, whether you believe that or not is a different matter. But he pulled out because of an alleged hand injury, highly suspicious in my view. And latterly, was it last night? Last night, I dropped the video with the breaking news from Dan Raphael that Joseph Parker had withdrawn. Well,
he's just withdrawn. He has got an injury, Rafi.
Who? Ortiz?
No, Parker. He's got a clinical lack of dog.
MG.
It's known as pussyitis.
Oh gosh. Sorry, Grandmama, if you're listening to this.
I'm sorry, Raphael. I'll try and be a bit more
decorum, please. Decorum, please.
I know
it's trying. I know it's trying.
I'm forgetting myself, Raph. I'm forgetting where I am. The shock is too much to deal with.
It's crazy, I know. It's crazy, I know. Let's have a look. It's what happened with the IBF last time. He fought Pulev. Who fought Pulev?
Hughie lost to Pulev in Bulgaria.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how Pulev became Joshua's mandatory.
Oh, yeah. That's a nice little spot right there. Let's have a look on Adari Pennant. I would like to see Joseph Parker versus Luis Ortiz. Well, boys, it don't seem like they're picking and choosing now. It seems like they're picking and choosing now. Why turn down Hrgovic?
I actually think that if by some fluke either of those two guys get a chance to fight a champion who's holding the IBF, they should be disqualified from winning it. If they beat that champion, the title should go vacant. Because they've turned down eliminators to fight for the title.
Yeah.
There needs to be a deterrent for this.
There needs to be some consequence for sure. Hrgovic needs to buy a mallard whistle and entice them back. A mallard is a type of duck for those who don't know.
Is it not one used by a duck hunter?
Duck hunter, indeed. Mallard whistle to entice the mallard, entice the duck. So let's have a look at this now. Okay, so they're turning down. They both declined. Ortiz and Parker both declined. They both declined the IBF eliminator. Some people say, well, maybe he wants to go the WBO route. Well, I think the WBO I think Usyk was the WBO guy, if I'm not mistaken. So the WBO is going to be the last one in the rotation. So going to
it's worse. What's Joe Joyce named for?
Joe Joyce is known for his jab.
No, named as he's a Mando.
Yeah.
Isn't he the WBO Mando?
I believe he's the WBO Mando. Or
so not only is Joe Joyce at the back of the rotation,
yeah.
but if you went the WBO route, you're behind Joe Joyce.
Well, no, I think it's an eliminator. I think it will be a fight final eliminator, much like the IBF. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the case with the WBO. Joe Joyce needs to fight somebody for the final eliminator. So it's the same situation here, but just further back in the rotation. It's the last one in the rotation. I think the next one due is the WBA. And then after that, I think it's the IBF. So the IBF is quicker, is sooner in the rotation than the WBO. So the argument that maybe Joe's waiting for Joe, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever because it's.
Well, I can see a reason for doing. I can see a reason for that, Ralph.
Okay.
Aren't they both Frank Warren promoted?
Frank Warren, Joe Joyce's promoter. Yeah.
Who's promoting? Who's promoting Parker?
Who's Parker? Is he not still with Matchroom? Or
no.
Is he a free agent now?
He's tied to the Furies, isn't he, in some way?
Well, he's still got his manager, but who's his promoter? I think he's still got promotional. Well, his last fight was under Eddie Hunt.
Yeah, but wasn't that because he's fighting Derek more than?
Yeah, it could have been. It could have been, but he's fighting
for that reason.
I think he's connected to Matchroom. I think he's connected to Matchroom. In some, I think so. So yeah, a WBO last in the rotation. So if he's waiting for Joseph Parker, that don't make no sense whatsoever. IBF earlier in the rotation. That makes a hell of a lot of sense. Fighting Hrgovic. I don't know. The money should be quite even. The money should be quite even, so you can't say it's the money. Although, yeah, okay, fighting Hrgovic, yeah, I suppose it's not going to be his biggest payday by a long chalk, but probably not going to be his worst either.
Well, the other question is, who's he going to fight for more money now?
Well, who's he going to fight next then? Who's he going to fight? What is going to be a better fight for Joseph Parker out there right now? I don't see it. I don't see a better fight for him out there.
He's ruled himself out from ever fighting Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
So if he wants a title shot, he's got to fight the winner of Usyk, Joshua, or wherever those belts end up by the time he actually get a chance to have a go at them, which he's now further away by not fighting Hrgovic.
Mm-hmm.
What big money fights are there in the heavyweight division at the moment?
It's crazy.
The only other thing, the biggest fight for him potentially would be a rematch with Dillian White. But why is Dillian going to give him a shot?
Yeah.
What's he doing?
It makes no sense. Don't make no sense whatsoever. Just looking at some stuff here. Oh, this is unkind. This is unkind. Let me share my screen. Let me share. Well, is it unkind or is it apt? Is it unkind or is it apt? Is it appropriate? OMG.
You can see that Joseph has got his hospital gown on there, and he's receiving his diagnosis of pussyitis.
Dear. Oh dear. This is how it looks, I'm afraid. This is how it's look. They're making Filip Hrgovic look like some kind of damn killer. Is Filip Hrgovic a killer? Is he a killer that's fighting low-ranked opponents?
No. He's been fighting nobodies since he fought Molina.
Yeah.
And what's his actual best win?
That'd probably be Molina. Probably be Molina.
Molina, Kevin Johnson. I mean, it's just like gatekeeper journeyman level people that he's beaten.
Rafael Zumbano, Pavel Sauer, Tom Little. You take your pick. Kevin Johnson.
Yeah. Tom Little. that Rafael
Zumbano.
That guy, did you see when Joshua fought him when Joshua was a prospect?
Remind me, what happened?
He completely slept him in the second round, completely devastated him.
Oh, good.
And that's a long time ago now.
Yeah.
It's not a really long time ago.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's still being put out there to fight prospects like Hrgovic shows that he's well past his sell-by date. It's horrendous.
It's crazy. I mean, let me ask the people. I don't know. What can I ask the people? Is Josie Parker? Well, we got to do a poll. I mean, is he scared? Is Parker scared of Hrgovic? Because is he shook? Is he shook? Is Parker shook? Scared is a harsh term. Shook. Shook. Of Hrgovic. Yay or nay? Put a question mark in there, even though it should be obvious. Okay, so you'll see in a few seconds. The poll is, the question is Parker shook of Hrgovic? Because the money shouldn't be a problem. There it is right there. I can't vote. So it's up to you, the people. Is Parker shook of Hrgovic? Because the money ain't a problem. The money shouldn't be a problem. The money's going to be pretty equal. So get your votes in. Ortiz never ducked Johnson. Come on now, it's too young to fight him. It was Jack Johnson's bucket boy. So I'm reliably informed.
No, you've got that the wrong way around, Rafi. I've been reliably informed that Jack Johnson was the bucket boy for
OMG. It's apt in my opinion. I was full of praise for Parker for the Chisora fight, but I can't stand ducking. I mean, is it something other than a duck? Is it something other than a duck? I'm gonna go and I do a quick search. It doesn't make sense at all. I'm gonna do a quick search to find out if Parker or Team Parker have responded. I'm scared. I'm shook myself because there's too many damn windows open. Got too many windows open. But let me close that one down and let me do a little search. Josie Parker. Josie Parker. Let's see what it says. Josie Parker overtakes Luis Ortiz as likely next opponent for Filip Hrgovic. Well, that's 2 days old. That ain't happening. Filip Hrgovic not tempted. Josie Parker. Oh, can't tempt Josie Parker into the ring. Josie Parker offered IBF eliminator. Hold on. Where's Parker's rebuttal? Where's Parker's Charles Martin in no mood to retire. Josie Parker defeats Derek Chisora. So, Team Parker. I'm doing a search now, and according to my search team, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but according to my search, Team Parker have not come out with an explanation as to why 8 hours ago. Let's have a listen to this. Let's have a look at this. Okay, let me share this. Where's my screen? Let me stop sharing that. And let me start sharing this. Hopefully we will be able to get some clarification. Hopefully there's some clarification from Team Parker
Well, the Sauerlands have made a statement saying that he's officially turned the fight down, and that they're going to petition the IBF to get Hrgovic named as mandatory. So I don't really see Parker coming out and saying anything to that. Do you want to send the link for that article?
No, I'm good. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. But I would like to see if Joseph Parker's team Parker said anything. Okay, Filip Hrgovic has not tempted Joseph Parker into the ring. He's either heavyweight that nobody wants to fight. Okay. There's Hrgovic with Deontay Wilder, sparring Deontay Wilder. I did at least one video on that. Go back into the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio archives for that. I think I did a live show on that. Filip Hrgovic. The New Zealander who recently battered Derek Chisora is the number 3 ranked contender and was instructed by the IBF to enter talks with Hrgovic. But Hrgovic's promoters have said he has already pulled out. Jeez. We weren't given a reason, says Kyle Sutherland, who represents Hrgovic. The rankings have become a mockery. We've gone through the rankings before. This isn't about rejecting financial terms because the fighters are rejecting us before we even discuss that. They are rejecting an opportunity to fight for the world title. So it's not even, I heard this said elsewhere. So it's not, they're not even asking about the financial terms. Ortiz didn't ask about the financial terms. Parker didn't ask about the financial terms. They just said, nah, we're not interested. All we can do is lobby the IBF to continue through the rankings as soon as possible or make Filip a direct mandatory. I don't want to see him be made a direct mandatory. I want to see him fight somebody. That's something we're pushing. I want to see him fight somebody. Keep on going down the rankings. And that's Eric Molina.
The Fury fight is. I think Huey would take that fight.
Fury would take it. Fury will take it.
Because it's not like he's got an O or anything to protect, has he? And he's been able to get fights after losses, like the loss to Pulev. So I think he'd take it.
Fury would take it. Hrgovic is currently ranked number 2 behind only Martin, who lost by knockout last week to Ortiz. Hrgovic must, in order of the rankings, enter negotiations with each contender until he strikes an agreement to fight. Okay, so the winner of the final eliminator would then later earn a mandatory shot at the IBF belt, which Usyk is set to defend against Anthony Joshua. So the IBF rankings here. I struck lucky with this article. The IBF rankings. Was it luck or was it destiny? Was it luck or was it destiny? It was destiny.
Destiny.
You know what I mean? Struck lucky with this. IBF rankings. Prince Charles Martin is number 1, but obviously he's going to be set to drop down. Filip Hrgovic, number 2, the undefeated Croatian, 2016 Olympic bronze medalist, undefeated in 14 pro fights, 12 KOs. Who else? Joseph Parker, number 3, but he's turned it down, so he's out. Number 4, Anthony Joshua. He's tied up. He's got a little matter to take care of with all legs on.
He's fighting for it anyway, isn't he? So.
Yeah, he's fighting for it. Yeah. Number 5, Tony Yoka, the Frenchman, the 2016 gold medalist. Oh, let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about Tony Yoka. Tony Yoka is implicated in the scandal, the rigging scandal, and Joe Joyce is petitioning to have his silver medal, which many people felt should have been a gold medal, turned into gold.
Didn't Yoka duck him last time when Hunter ducked him?
He declined, yeah. Yoka
declined. I think he's only got 1 duck on his record against Hrgovic.
Yeah. So that's Tony Yoka. Joe Joyce petitioning to have his silver medal, which many people felt should have been a gold, turned into gold amidst the the rigging scandal at the 2016 Olympics in the boxing. Okay, so Yoka, I don't think Yoka's interested. Joe Joyce, well, he's number one or number two. Number one, he's got the eliminator. He's up there in the eliminator waiting for a partner, a dance partner for the what is it? This is the IBF. Yeah, the WBO eliminator. Okay, Ajit Kabayal. Now it gets interesting. The German is undefeated in 21 fights. He famously outpointed Chisora 5 years ago. He was considered for a fight with Tyson Fury last year, which never materialized. I think, ladies and gentlemen, I think we may have the first person who may actually go for this. And his name is Ajit Kabayal.
I can see Kabayal beating him, to be honest.
I can see that being
that's not an easy. It won't be a fun fight to watch, but he's not an easy person to beat.
He ain't an easy person to beat, and he's been around the block. When did he beat Chisora? 5 years ago. So he ain't new to the game. It won't be his first rodeo. Murat Gassiev, the former IBF and WBA cruiserweight champion, has stepped up to heavyweight. His only defeat in 29 fights was against Alexander Usyk. There we have another.
Yeah, I don't know about him, Raf, because hasn't he been put in position for Lawrence McCody's cruiserweight belt as well? Isn't he ranked number one?
Mm-hmm.
Which part does?
He's moved up. He's moved up to heavyweight now.
No, he's appeared in the cruiserweight rankings again. Someone mentioned it this week. I'll check that. Let me just check that.
That's interesting. That is interesting. Luis Ortiz, we know Luis Ortiz, he's turned the thing down. So that's a non-starter. Andreas the Punch Ruiz, he's on PBC Island. He'll do what PBC tell him to do. He'll do what PBC tell him to do. Dempsey McLean, the Australian southpaw, is unbeaten in 20 fights and recently made his US debut after spending his career down under. Zili Zhang, I don't know who promotes him. Who promotes Zili Zhang? Not sure. That's at 12. The undefeated veteran is interested in fighting Hrgovic if the negotiations are right. His manager told Sky Sports. Okay, that's another possibility. You're going to say, John?
But Gassiev is ranked number one in the WBO at the moment in the cruiserweight rankings.
Okay,
has he actually had a fight at heavyweight?
I think he's had one. Did he say he's had one? Where is he?
Well, I don't understand how he's ranked other than being a former title holder in the cruiserweight division.
It's interesting. That's certainly interesting. So, come to 13, Hughie Fury, the younger cousin of Tyson Fury, has once challenged for a world title against Parker and is prioritizing chasing Chisora. I mean, prioritize. He could take it. You take it. He would take it. I think that might be our man. It could be Hughie Fury. My top picks are Hughie Fury. Ajit Kabayal. Yeah, Hughie Fury and Ajit Kabayal. There's a question mark about Murat Gassiev, but certainly I think Ajit would go for it. And I think, where is he? Hughie Fury 2 would go for it. Okay. Let's get into the chat, see what people are saying. When I hit the mic, there won't be no delaying. What's going on? What's going on? As a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat, Parker hanging out with Fury. Of course he ducked. OMG. Let me have a look over there at the poll.
So Gassiev has had 2 fights at heavyweight, and yet he's ranked number one in the WBO cruiserweight ranking.
That's peculiar. That's peculiar. Okay, get the voting. Get the voting. Obviously, I can't tell you what it's looking like. But, yeah, where is the poll? I was just looking at it. Let me repeat the question. Is Parker shook of Hrgovic? Hrgovic, okay, I spelled that wrong. Hrgo, yeah, Mr. V out. Never mind. I think everybody done know what the question is. Let's bring that down. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Or Tyson could all prove us all wrong and announce a fight with Dillian White next week. Where I can see Luke dropping that title. OMG. Aaron Daly is in the building. How you doing, Aaron? Let me have a look over there. Yeah, okay, that's good. Where are we now? Oh, okay. Let's go. And it is the Shelton Moore. How you doing, Shelton? Always the Moore, nevertheless.
Rafi, what's happening, man? How you doing today?
Well, we're chopping it up over here, you know, it's like duck season. It's like duck season in the heavyweight division. It's crazy, yo. Shizzle is crazy, yo.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised with Ortiz ducking. I mean, that's a pattern of behavior for him. You know, anytime there's any type of a challenge, he ducks out. I mean, he could have, in my opinion, could have said, okay, you want me to fight Hrgovic? That's fine. You know, I broke my hand in this fight. So whatever date you have for that fight, make it 3 months later. Give me a chance to heal. Give me a chance to get to a camp. And I'll fight the guy.
Yeah.
You know, that simplifies it. But he just flat out turn it down. I mean, come on, dude. I mean, you wonder why people talk about you. How you the boogeyman? The boogeyman don't turn down fights. Am I right?
I'm thinking they're talking about his dancing skills. He can't be anything else.
Now, the Hrgovic situation. Now, people don't look at it this way, but this is just how I see it. People forget that Joseph Parker made a shit ton of money fighting AJ.
I was thinking about that the other day.
So at this point in his career, right? Why do I want to fight this young, hungry dude if the bag ain't big enough? Because, you know, Joseph Parker, be that as it may, Joseph Parker probably looking for a certain type of bag to fight anybody at this point.
Yeah. He's comfortable now. His belly's full.
I've got a question for you, Shelton. Which fighters actually provide that type of money for him?
Huh?
So I'm probably saying about purse size for Joseph, but can you tell me which fighter could give him a big purse at the moment?
Well, Joseph Parker. Shit, the only fighter out there right now that can give him a big is probably Wilder, maybe. I mean, the guys that he can get to, because he can't get to Usyk, he can't get to those guys. But maybe Wilder. I mean, because everybody else he's fought.
But the problem I've got with that is, apart from Fury, what opponent of Wilder's ever got more than $500,000?
That's you're right. But see, now Wilder has become a big name because of Fury. In spite of Fury, Wilder has become a big. We can't deny that. Even though I can't stand Wilder, and go a little bit off topic. We get back on that Lopez kid is now getting into the same vein with me as Wilder because he's making a ton of excuses. Well, his dad is anyway. So any excuse makers, I can't stand them. I can't. But it does the fact that Wilder now after trilogy, Wilder's. We have to admit that.
Yes. Wilder. He said Wilder got big because of the Fury fights, but he actually got big.
Yes, he did.
He actually got big before that. He actually got big by declining Joshua offers, and that actually raised his stock. Wilder raised his stock by declining Joshua offers and defaming Joshua's name, and then getting into the cabal with Tyson Fury and Bob Arum. And then when he came up short, they kicked him out of the cabal. And now the only people remaining in the cabal is Tyson Fury, Bob Arum. Who's the third wheel? Yeah, and Frank Warren. That's the cabal now. That's the cabal trying to script the narrative. I didn't hear it. It was past my bedtime, but I saw a title of a show talking about, by one of my buddies over there in the USA, talking about Fury is in the driving seat. Like I said, I couldn't listen to it because it was past my bedtime. It said Fury is in the driving seat, but yet, like that was some kind of positive thing. But yet, I think it was talking in relation to Dillian White. But yet, when Anthony Joshua was offering people 35%, and then ensuring that he would have a rematch in case he lost one-way rematches. When Joshua was doing that, 35%, mind you, they said that Joshua, the same people were saying Joshua was being unreasonable. Why should he have a rematch? But these cats were happy. He paid them extra to make sure that he had a rematch clause in the contracts. He paid them extra, and they're happy. They're happy. They're going to get 2 big paydays. Look at Andreas the Ponce Ruiz. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Look how fat he got off that one night. Look how fat he got off that one check, much less the second check, which was bigger than the first check. Look at Alexander Usyk. Do you think he's complaining that there was a rematch clause for Joshua in the contract in case Joshua lost? Do you think he's complaining? The man's gone from being comfortable to being very, very rich.
Usyk was in a very strong position because he was a mandatory. He didn't have to have a rematch at all.
He didn't have to, but they paid him extra, and he said yes. He said yes. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Anthony. So Anthony Joshua's making these guys rich beyond their wildest dreams, and Tyson Fury's out there. You got people backing Tyson Fury out there offering people 20%. What kind of?
That's just a way. That's just a covert way of ducking out of the fight.
Of course.
Well,
you shoot somebody an offer that you know they won't take. You really don't want to.
No, but it'll be interesting because the purse bid's happening next week, and if they're smart, Eddie will bid on that fight anyway. Because I think that'll push Fury into dropping the belt, but we'll see. That's a bit off topic. I would argue that Fury was not a big name when he started fighting Wilder either. And they both built themselves off the fact that they were doing something else in America that involved a heavyweight title. But when Fury and Wilder have not been fighting each other, they haven't done any big numbers, and their opponents haven't had any big purses.
Yeah, neither one of them can draw flies to shit without each other. You're right.
Yeah. And so, I mean, because I think after Fury, the highest paid opponent Wilder has had is Luis Ortiz. And didn't he get $500,000 for their first pay?
$500,000. Luis Ortiz got $500,000.
But you turned down seven Joshua to fight Wilder for $500,000. Now, what kind of sense does that make?
Well, he also could have been the mandatory for Joshua. When he was signed to Matchroom, Eddie signed Ortiz and he fought Dave Allen and Malik Scott on the Matchroom.
Memorable fights, memorable classic fights that shall live in the minds of all right-thinking boxing fans for generations.
Well, they're difficult to forget, Raf. I have tried.
People have spent trillions on therapy trying to erase those fights from their memories. It's terrible. But I'm not ignoring the chat. Let's go into the chat. Let's say what people are saying. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. I think it's more of a dollars issue. I heard the IBF has the split at 60-40 in favor of Hrgovic. 60-40, very respectable split. Very respectable split when you compare that to what Tyson Fury's saying, what Bob Arum's saying, what Frank Warren's saying, what Mauricio WBC Mauricio's saying. So, there's the cabal. I think I forgot to include Mauricio, but he's pivotal. He's a key. Excuse me.
The thing is, Lisa, let's say he has to take low money on this fight. If he was serious about fighting for a world title again, this is the best route. The IBF call their mandatories. And if the belt holder doesn't accept the mandatory, they get stripped.
Yeah.
So if you want to become a world champion again, if you want to become a two-time world champion, why aren't you fighting a very mediocre-looking Filip Hrgovic? Doesn't make any sense.
Don't make no sense whatsoever. What the hell's going on? We're trying to decipher. We're trying to make sense of the madness. There is a poll. There is a poll up right now. Let me have a quick little looky. Yeah. Okay. Get your votes in on the poll. Let your voice be heard. Hrgovic v. Fury would be interesting. I'd be really impressed if Hrgovic could stop Fury. He's shown a great chin. Yeah. I'd like that fight. Come on, get on him. Get on Yui Fury. I think we found the answer. I think it's Yui Fury. Yui Fury would take it, I think.
I think Ajit Caballero would probably take the fight as well.
I mean, Ajit Caballero would take it, I believe.
Yeah. I think it'd take more than punch power as well to get Huey out of there, because Huey's defensively sound. So you'd have to set traps and set up the knockout. It's not just a question of throwing heavy leather to get Huey out of there. You'd have to be smart as well.
Very smart, very smart. Ortiz got injured opening his telegram from the Queen. OMG.
For our American listeners, if you don't know, you get a telegram from the Queen when you reach your 100th birthday in this country.
100th birthday, blimey now. It's a long time to wait for a telegram from the Queen. OMG. Alexandra.
The Queen was a bit late for her, Lewis, though. She was
done it before. Alexandra. I can't pronounce that surname. Ilbs. I'm going to say Ilbs. How you doing, Alexandra? Good to have you up in here. As we scroll. We scroll down. Bruce goes up in the building. Julian has to take it to purse bid. Malcolm Marcel up in the building has to go to purse bid. Yeah. Malik Scott versus Ortiz was top 5 terrible fights of all time.
There is a worse fight than that involving Luis Ortiz. The Tony Thompson one.
Tony Thompson, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was bad.
I don't think I've seen that one. Iron Calm.
Don't watch it, Raf.
I know, I have no intention. Up in the building. Shelton Moore dropped off. Shelton. Let's look for. Salon said Ajit Caballero already turned it down. OMG. Imagine that. Ajit Caballero, we thought he was one who wouldn't say no. He said no 2 times. 2 times. Wow. Soliman.
I don't understand what
corrupt apple doesn't fall. Soliman, the corrupt apple doesn't fall far from the corrupt tree. Well, like father, like son, so they say. Like father, like son, so they say. Okay. What can we say? What can we really say about these ducks? You're gonna have to move on from the ducks. I mean, there's only so long you can talk about ducks.
Well, this highlights how bad it is, Ralph. We're relying on Tyson Fury to get us out of this rut and actually fight in.
Tyson Fury or Yuri Fury?
It's beyond horrendous what's gone on with Hrgovic. So even if Fury fights him, it's not really getting us out of the problem, because we need a fight that people would be excited for.
Yeah.
So that would require Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte to come to terms.
Well,
which would require, in my opinion, Tyson not dropping the belt when it goes to purse bid, which I think Eddie will win.
Yeah. When does it go to purse bid?
Tuesday next week.
That's when it goes to purse bids.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Eddie's already come out and said it'll probably go to purse bid.
Okay.
There's no way Eddie's not going to bid on that fight, is there?
He's going to bid on that fight.
Why settle for anything? Has Bobby even made an offer in terms of actual financial offer to Dillian Whyte?
Interesting question. Eddie also said, the offer kind of depends on the purse split. They'd like to know what the purse split is. That would influence the offer. So it's a tricky situation. It's a very tricky situation because we're not going to have a definitive purse. We're not going to know the split until March, sometime in March, when the arbitrator arbitrates. So it's a tricky situation.
Is that still the case now that WBC have come out and say it's 20% split? Well,
the arbitrator has a final word. The arbitrator will arbitrate on what should be the split. He has the final word on what the split will be.
But the problem is the WBC have given Tyson dispensation to have a non-title fight if it doesn't have a purse bid by Tuesday.
Also, they have given him dispensation.
I believe they have, but the purse bid is in place for Tuesday. So if there's a purse bid and it's won, Dillian has either got to pull out, Tyson's either got to drop the belt, or they have the fight.
If what? Under what circumstances?
So if there's a purse bid on Tuesday, anybody can bid on it. It could be a random Triller bid or anything.
Yeah.
Both fighters can either accept that offer, or if Dillian backs out, then Tyson's free to do whatever he wants. Or if Tyson backs out, he has to drop the belt. So if they're smart, they'll win the purse bid. Eddie will win the purse bid because I think that would lead Tyson Fury to drop the WBC. And then at least Dillian can fight somebody else for it. I don't think Bob will let Tyson fight on Eddie's platform. I think he'd rather have Tyson defending the Ring magazine belt, which he can still claim is a world title in America, and just put him on ESPN.
And very, very interesting. Will Bob Arum let Tyson Fury fight on Eddie Hearn?
There's a very strong argument that the whole reason that Lomachenko got moved up to franchise champion was because Devin Haney was mandatory. Bob knew he couldn't beat Eddie in a purse bid, and he didn't want Lomachenko fighting on DAZN. And he'd already overpaid one of Eddie's fighters to fight Lomachenko, who was a mandatory already. And rather than have to deal with that situation, he petitioned. It was Bob that petitioned the WBC to get Loma moved to franchise champion. So that meant that Eddie couldn't go take him to a purse bid. Eddie's now in a position to take Bob to a purse bid again. And I think if that does happen, if Eddie wins purse bid, I think Tyson Fury's dropping the belt.
That would be hilarious. Hilarious. That'd be funny as hell. Let it happen. Whatever way it happens, let the chips or let the cards fall where they may. Let them fall. If Tyson doesn't step up, I mean, he shouldn't be messing around, shouldn't be waiting to disgrace if Tyson Fury waits till the arbitrator comes up with a sensible with a sensible split. To me, it's a disgrace. Tyson Fury was talking about how the WBC did Dillian White wrong in his negotiations, in keeping him waiting, stopping the fight, disenabling the Dillian White versus Deontay Wilder fight. Deontay Wilder said, I'll make you wait for 2 years. I'll make you wait for 2 years. And he wasn't wrong. He wasn't joking. He's very, very serious about it. It's gonna be funny if he drops them belts. It's gonna show the caliber of the man. If he drops them belts, it's gonna be remembered as a Riddick Bowe, who was termed Chicken Bowe by Lennox Lewis. So that would be utterly hilarious and show the caliber of the man. He throws down the belt. He throws the belt in the garbage pan. Let it play.
Well, it's even worse when you think that Tyson would actually be getting 80% of the split as well.
Disgraceful.
Because for Eddie to win the bid, he's going to have to come in with a big one.
Yeah.
If it goes to the first bid, it should actually be 70-30 according to the rules of the WBC.
Well, boom, that's how it goes then. You go by the rules.
We'll talk about WBC, Rafi.
Well,
they don't really pay much attention to their own rules because there's always that stipulation they can overrule anything they want.
Well, the good thing about this situation with Dillian White is actually getting legal. Got legal. Dillian White got legal on their asses. And it will continue to get legal. It will continue to have people.
The thing is, though, Raf, if he just pushes it and says, all right, I'm going to swallow the 20%, he could end up forcing Tyson to drop the belt. Because I think that's the very likely outcome.
Yeah, should fight for his rights. Should fight for his rights.
I agree with you in principle, but in this case, at the end of the day, I think you can beat Tyson. And if you win the first bid, you control pretty much everything. There's no rematch clause. If he beats Tyson, he walks away with the belt. His world title holder, who's in a very good position to get the undisputed fight. Whilst you could stick on principle, if you look at the long game, beating Tyson puts him in a much better position whether he takes 20% or not.
Yeah, I say don't take 20. Don't take 20. It's principle at play here.
I understand that, but you could then fight for an undisputed title fight and win all the marbles.
You could win all the marbles, you could lose, and you only took 20%, whereas if you take 35%, that's almost double. You know what I'm saying? So it's yin and yang. It's which side of the street you fall on, how you feel about it. Me, just, you know, I think on a principle basis, you gotta go. You gotta go for what is right. And 20% ain't right in anybody's book. But let's close.
I don't agree with the 20%, just to be clear as well.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so the poll was, we're about to close it. Is Parker shook of Hrgovic? 75%, 76% said yay, and 24% said nay. We close that poll now, and the next poll will be, the poll will come up. You click it more than one time, it's like, okay, so the results of the poll are now in the chat, and let us start the new poll. And what should that be? Should Dillian White accept 20%? Should White accept 20?
Well, what I would say is the real question, Raf, is should White take it to purse bid? Because according to the rules of a purse bid, he should get 30%. And then they'd have to go and break their own rules. They've set a purse bid for Tuesday. So they'd have to go back on their own rules. So what you could do is win the purse bid, and then if they go back on the 30%, take them to court about that, having already won the purse bid.
Yeah, but I think it's
do you see what I mean?
It's almost certainly going to purse bid, though, isn't it?
Well, not if they drag it out in court and they don't make a purse bid, then they put themselves in a bad position, don't they? So they'd be better off winning the purse bid on Tuesday, and then if they want to go to court and argue about 30%, they've already won it, haven't they?
Mm-hmm. I think they'll be looking to win. I think they'll be looking to win the purse bid. I think they'll be looking to win the purse bid. Eddie's making an offer, no question about it. So let's see what people feel. Let's see what people feel. The poll is up. Let's get the temperature. Let's get the feel of people. Let's get the feel. What are people feeling? Because the purse bid, Fury may vacate indeed. Okay, so the poll is up, and let's just touch on something else. I mean, 1 hour with good time. It's only 10:30. Okay, let's just touch on something else. Where are we? Stop that. Stop sharing that. Oh. Start sharing this. Okay. So can you see what I can see? Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay.
Is that Trevor Bryan?
That is indeed Trevor Bryan.
And that is the Stacey McKinley who I often quote in the background there.
Stacey McKinley, there he is. Okay, so what's the headline? Trevor Bryan to proceed with voluntary title defense. Char removed as WBA champion in resets. OMG. Okay, so Manuel Char suffers yet another knockout blow outside of the ring. We've learned that the former secondary WBA belt holder has lost out on a chance to face WBA World Heavyweight titleist Trevor Bryan for the second time in the span of a year. Char was previously owed a shot at the title he once held, but has been removed for failure to provide proof of a P1 entertainment visa required to travel to the United States to fight. That's kind of how you gonna fail on your P1 entertainment visa, which is required to travel to the United States. Wow, it's like failing on a technicality. Okay, so Don King Promotions plan to stage the bout on January 29th at Packard Music Hall in Warren, Ohio. The date was established during a December 9 purse bid hearing won by the Hall of Fame promoter with a bid of $1,100,080 to be split evenly between Bryan and Char, from which King was required to submit a 25% non-refundable deposit. Okay, the purse bid requirements also stipulated that final contracts were to be submitted no later than 20 days after. The 20-day deadline came and went without contracts received by the WBA, a factor on which Char was banking to have the sanctioning body declare a purse bid default. However, the figurative game of Russian roulette worked against the Syrian-born heavyweight. The purse bids also specified that each fighter and their respective camp shall be responsible for obtaining their own passports, visas, et al. Char and his team have contended that they are unable to comply with that order without proof of a fight in order to travel to the US. Representatives from DKP insist that a contract offer was in fact presented to Char, but the 36-year-old heavyweight ultimately overplayed his hands. It has now cost him the chance to regain the title that was stripped from his possession 1 year ago. OMG. 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 What's going on here? What's going on here? Char is to the WBA is what White is to the WBC. They both haven't had good experiences.
I don't really agree with what Lisa's just said there. Char is a disgrace to boxing.
Oh.
His last fight was against Chris Lovejoy, who's ranked 100 out of the heavyweight boxers in America and 344 in the world. So he's defended the title against somebody ranked 344 in the world.
I don't even think Wilder did that. I don't even think Wilder went that low in the rankings.
It's beyond horrendous. He managed to avoid being stripped of his title through a technicality with a failed drug test for not one steroid but 2 steroids that he tested positive for.
I remember that.
Yeah, and he's been a mixture of inactive and cherry picking since he lost to Maris Breedis. He's fought Andrei Mazanik, Sefer Safiri, Ustinov, and Lovejoy. And Ustinov is how he won this vacant WBA title. So I'd argue the WBA have been extremely kind to him, allowing him to have, from winning the title in 2017, he's defended it once in 2021.
Rough. It's rough. It's been rough out there. It's been rough out there.
And that defense was against Christopher Lovejoy, ranked 344 in the world. And this man's been walking around calling himself a world champion.
Char has been like I don't know, it's like a
cancer on the face of boxing, Raf, and I think I'm being kind to him there.
It's been like a millstone. It's been like a millstone in the necks of the WBA. It's been like a millstone. When in comes a man like the Iron Kong. Iron Kong, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, pleasant good evening, Rafi, to the great John. Hope y'all are cool, my Birmingham ambassadors, kings of the canals.
He's the king of St. Kitts. Iron Kong himself.
Yeah, we're going on, man. We're going on, Rafi. What's up? What we talking about?
Yeah, man,
What we talking about?
Duck City out there. It's BBC Island out there. It's the blood oath. It's the Illuminati. It's the cabal. Yes. It's all kind of forces stopping Joseph Parker from stepping forward and presenting himself for a world championship opportunity. He ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna do it against Tyson Fury. Some people think that he took a blood oath. Some people think that it's the Illuminati. I don't know. What says the Iron Kong?
Maybe he need to go back to New Zealand to have another hug fest with Junior Fa, because Joseph Parker just regained just a little bit of respect in the sport by finally beating an old Derek Chisora. Now all of a sudden, whatever little momentum he thought he had, he lost by not taking this. I see Frank Warren announced Jojo is coming back in like April, right? Doesn't seem like Jojo is coming back to fight Joseph Parker, right? So if it ain't Hrgovic and it ain't Joe Joyce, is Eddie Hearn going to pay Joseph Parker another big money for another awful fight? Joseph Parker is one of these people who, I said today on my stream, is like rice cakes. You don't really hate rice cakes, but you never hear nobody say, I can't wait for my next rice cake. You know what I mean? You don't really have an opinion of him either way. You know what I mean? So Joseph Parker, in my opinion, need to just hang it up. If you're not fighting Joe Joyce #1 in WBO, you're not fighting Hrgovic, then who? Who do people care? Dillian White is unavailable. Anthony Joshua is unavailable.
And he won't fight Tyson. And you're not going to fight
the alpha in your pack, because clearly you are not the leader in that pack. You've allowed a man who is a two-time drug cheat, a man who does copious amounts of cocaine to be your leader. So I don't want to hear nothing. Eddie Hearn better not try and market this man to me as nobody, whatever. Man, just let Joseph Parker go back to New Zealand and face the charges.
The reason that he's boxing on Iron Kong is because he's got a lot of money to launder. He's got to find a way of ill-gotten gains.
Whoa. I'd just like to point out,
allegedly,
Page, that the thoughts and the observations of the panelists are not necessarily endorsed by the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. I just like to point out that point.
Sorry, Raph. Sorry, I don't want to get into trouble.
No, that's okay.
No.
Indemnity, personal indemnity insurance, I'm good.
Yeah, we also don't want, Joseph Parker's compatriots to come find us, okay? So
they can't travel, Kong. I can insult them from a distance.
Well, you're gonna have to get over the moat.
Although I am happy to believe that some of the people Joseph was associated with in New Zealand are far more dangerous than Mr. Joseph Parker is.
Parker might be selling the thing to Luke. OMG. OMG. Well, I don't know. Could it be a blood oath? I mean, because Parker's essentially turned himself into a Tyson Fury's biggest fanboy.
I'm telling you, it's sick. It's like somebody it's like you have two dogs in your yard, and they wrestle, and one dog keeps showing its belly. Yeah. Joseph Parker keeps giving his belly to Tyson Fury. It's crazy.
Oh no.
It's like they're pad mates in the jail, and one's the top and the other one's the bottom.
Oh dear! What John Daly's on some true serum. John Daly's on some true serum.
John Daly is on fire tonight, boy.
Fire. Man's on fire. Cooling down. Where's the fire extinguisher? OMG.
But let's keep it all in 100, man. Yeah. Joseph Parker don't have no big fights available outside of them people I just talked about. Who is he planned? Does he plan to be on somebody's undercard? Because outside of them people, who is Joseph Parker going to headline with? Who?
I'd love to know.
Well, I've been asking this question, and Charlton Moore proposed Wilder, but I don't see how that's going to earn him a big purse. Personally,
nobody's earning money against Wilder.
Well, somebody has cleaned up against Wilder, and his name's Luke. But outside of Luke Fury, nobody is making any money.
Luke was the A side. Luke was the Luke.
No, not initially, Raph.
Luke may have been the B side in the first fight, but then after that,
I'm the second. He took short money in the second as well.
Oh, okay.
Was it 50-50? Was that 50-50?
Sorry again, 50-50 for the first fight.
No, second fight was 50-50.
Must have been 50-50 for the second fight as well.
Wilder had at least a 60-40 split in the first fight.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, but nobody's making big money against Wilder outside of Luke. So I don't know, and I don't know if Wilder wants. Does Wilder want Parker? I don't know. Wilder's just taking 2 back-to-back beatings. Does he really want Parker?
I can see Wilder fancying that fight. I'm not full blame having a good result against Derek. I mean, Derek's the only heavyweight with shorter arms than Joe, isn't he?
Derek's got shorter arms than
I think
Joe.
He's the only one with a shorter reach in the heavyweight division in the top 20 at the moment.
Parker fought 3 times last year. Maybe he just wants a break. It was low grade competition though. I mean, he wasn't fighting killers. He was fighting 3 killers last year. I mean, last year, who did he fight?
What's this talk of war against Hrgovic? When has Hrgovic come out and actually he's either knocked out real low tier opposition or gone the distance against journeyman?
Did he say a break?
Break from what?
Oh, he fought 3 times last year, apparently. So that's
a break.
Once against Derek. Who were his other 2 fights?
Shondell Winters.
Shondell Winters.
Those are the fights this guy's talking about, like hard fights. Man, stop.
What do you mean? Junior Farr? Shondell Winters? Okay. He had one tough fight in Chisora, which I think he lost.
That was just about, yeah. But who's Hrgovic given? Like, what has Hrgovic done to make anybody think it's going to be a war?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
This is what I'm confused about. You should be looking at this thinking, all right, I might not get a lot of money out of this fight, but I'm going to be guaranteed a shot at a world title fight because it's the IBF. Why else are you boxing if you don't want that title? No. What's the reason?
Man, the whole point about fighting, is about keeping yourself active. Joseph Parker there was a time when he wasn't getting no fights, so he should be trying to keep himself more active, and you should be trying to involve yourself in fights that will take you to where you claim you want to be. Filip Hrgovic straight at the IBF belt, and I picked Joseph Parker to win that fight. I just don't see what's so special about Hrgovic. Maybe these people know more than I do, or they've heard sparring stories. But for what I've seen in the ring, the guy don't look special. Maybe he needs somebody else to bring something out of him. You know what I mean? But this is disgraceful. Joseph Parker don't have no excuses because, again, it don't sound like Frank Warren is going to put Joe Joyce in there with Joseph Parker. Why would Frank Warren? And the weird thing is the IBF mandatory is going to be due before the WBO mandatory.
That's right.
Pulev and Joshua just fought 2020. The IBF is due again.
Yeah.
The WBO was just fulfilled when Usyk beat Joshua.
That's what I'm saying. So guitars for you. Parker fought Hrg. That would be a battle and a half for what? How long will it take to get the title through the IBF? Yeah, well, the WBA next, and then it's the IBF. The WBO are last in the rotation. So other than the WBA, this is it. This is his shot. The IBF, it's next after the WBA in the rotation. WBO is last in the rotation.
He needs to explain why that's a battle and a half. Him writing it in the comments section with no supporting evidence when they go through Hrgovic's last 5 fights. What on earth makes him think that is a battle? Like Hrgovic is not a particularly active fighter. He doesn't throw a lot. There's not high activity levels. He probably does hit hard, but he's not the fastest. And I've seen some dreadful performances from him where he's just looked out of sorts, got no time in. What has Hrgovic done to convince me or anybody else that it's gonna be a total war? I just don't see how.
Well, it asks you, right? I think Parker is going to let the field level out. I don't think Parker's got the time, the luxury of time to let the field level out. Do you know how many years? Do you know how many years he could be waiting? But rather than that, he'd rather wait for years than take an IBF eliminator, which if he wins guarantees him a title shot. Come on, man, make it make sense.
The other thing that doesn't make sense, Raf, is there really going to be somebody that you can fight to get to a world title that's going to be worse than Hrgovic? What has Hrgovic done? I'm not saying Hrgovic is bad, but this is one fight away from a world title against an unproven prospect. I mean, let's just have it right. An unproven prospect has gone the distance with Kevin Johnson and hasn't fought anybody for quite some time. Hrgovic fought Joe Joyce.
The amateurs?
Oh, is he bringing up amateur fights?
Are we talking about amateur fights now?
What's that got to do with this? I don't understand the point.
I'm confused.
So because of something you did in the amateurs, that automatically translates.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
so why isn't everyone taking
I don't see how that's pertinent.
Tony Yoka beat Joe Joyce officially. You might not agree with the result.
Yeah.
He's also got a lot of good wins.
Yeah.
What's that got to do with anything?
I'm
even going to check if Hrgovic won that.
I think I would imagine Joe Joyce won. I'm not sure. I would imagine Joe Joyce won. As we come to the end of the show, where are we? What do I want to do? I want to go somewhere. I want to go. Where is it? Oh, there it is. There is the poll. Should White accept 20%? If you haven't voted, get your votes in now, because I'm about to close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Poll closed. Should White accept 20%? 41% said yay, and 59% said nay. End poll.
Yeah, and just to go back on that point, Joe Joyce beat Hrgovic.
Yeah, I thought so.
I don't understand what that's got to do with anything.
Yeah, I don't understand the pertinence of it. Let's have a look. What's going on here? Okay, nobody's commented since then. Everybody is in stunned silence. The Iron Kong. Mad things going on. Duck soup galore. Is it the Illuminati? Is it the cabal? Did Joseph Parker take a blood oath? Make it make sense.
Yeah, plenty Oriental sauces, lots of duck sauce, and I don't know what to tell you, Rafi, but I don't know. It's weird, right? Because for tonight I've been seeing this dude Benson, because Benson usually poaches people's tweets, and he's been like, people have been like announcing Eddie Hearn fights. Eddie Hearn, like, I guess maybe he'll come out sooner or later and start talking, but he's got to be pissed with Joseph Parker, right? Like, he's got to be like, I gave you all these layup fights, all these soft touches, all these runouts.
For what?
And now it's time for you to put the icing on the cake. You turn your back on me? Like, who does Joseph Parker think he gonna fight next? Another layup? He gonna fight for Oceania belt in New Zealand? Listen here, Joseph Parker got a little respect against Derek Chisora, and to me, he lost all that by ducking this fight.
Crazy.
It's my opinion on that. I just find the whole thing to be distasteful. I know Zili Zhang called out Hrgovic after the fight in New York, but I think the guy, Kala's brother, the wrong Sauerland, I don't like when he does interviews. He's a little bit too contained for me. He said, yeah, Zhang accepted the fight, but they have to go through the entire rankings until they get to Zhang. I think Zhang is like 13 or something. Yeah. It's just really stupid, Rafi. This is just boxing, taking and not giving as usual. Clown thing.
Bad. And that was the Iron Kong, who took time out of his day. He's got his own channel. Sure to go check him out. That was the Iron Kong. Thanks for stopping on over.
Your chair's okay, Rafi? What was that just now?
That was my chair. I got a squeaky chair. I got a very squeaky chair. I have to mute myself when I'm moving the chair. Otherwise, it makes a terrible, terrible racket.
Joke thing. You got old man Ortiz faking a hand injury. You got young man Parker. Him and Hrgovic the same age. 2 young, strong men. And you don't want to fight because you're in a camp with the king of the ducks. The king of the ducks, Tyson Fury. Anyway, Rafa, you be easy, man. You and John, y'all be easy. Take care of yourself. Stay out them canals, man. Peace.
That was the Iron Kong. Iron Kong's got his own channel. Be sure to check him out. Hey, much appreciation to Iron Kong anytime he comes through and he talks to the troops. Eddie Chan up in the building. How do you do? And then there were two. John D. Lee, thanks for taking time out of your day. I know you have a busy schedule. It's nice to.
It's been a while, Ralph.
It's been a while.
It's been good to catch up with you.
100%. Your final words, John D.
I've just been. No, the Sun are running with something, aren't they? The Sun are running, claiming that there's going to be a huge mega offer from Tyson to Dillian for the fight to be in Saudi. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if anything actually comes of that.
Interesting, bro. I'm calling BS on that though. For the time.
It's not a reliable source, the Sun newspaper.
Yeah.
It's grim. It's grim when that's the best news around, isn't it? Really, it shows how bad it is.
Very, very grim. Hopefully there's an upturn. Hopefully Tyson Fury cease. Anyway, it's your final words. Yeah.
My final words are: it can only get better from here. Surely it's going to get better for the rest of the year. Thanks for having me on, Raf. Keep up the good work, and I'll speak to you soon.
And that was the John D. Lee and the Iron Kong. Iron Kong, write your channel name in the comment section. Write your channel name in the comment section. I know it's Iron Kong was a number. You got some numbers at the end. Put the numbers in. Put the numbers in. Okay, so I think we chopped it up. We got through a lot of stuff in good time. Now the Rafi don't like to linger or tarry. You know, we like to get in there and bust open the case. Bust open the case. There it is. Sweet as a nut. Thanks for that. The tone. Okay, so Luis Ortiz versus Joseph Parker makes sense. Well, how does it make sense? You don't get none of them closer. You don't get none of them closer. Luis Ortiz versus Hrgovic, that made sense. Joseph Parker versus Hrgovic, that made sense. But Luis Ortiz versus Parker makes no sense, my friend. It makes no sense. Hey, guitars for you. Thanks for your input, my friend. Thanks for your input. You came and you threw a hot chili in the tomato sauce. That's always good fun. Always good fun. Good to have you up in here. What we got here? Yeah. Yes. Okay. It's been a good one. We covered what did we cover? Where's the damn thumbnail? Let me get that up. Let me share. Let me share it with you. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So we talked about the duck season, duck soup, call it what you will. Ortiz don't want it, says he's got a bad hand. Joseph Parker don't want it. Was it a blood oath? Some people say it's Illuminati. Some people say it's a blood oath. Some people like me say it's a cabal. It's the WBC Mauricio. It's the Bob Arum. It's the Tyson Fury. It's the Frank Warren. That's the cabal trying to put the kibosh on Dillian White's title aspirations. So you got to hold out. Tell them to stuff that 20% where the sun don't shine. That's where they should shove it. That's where they should shove it. That's what they should do. Dillian's got to hold out. Let it go to purse bids. Let the arbitrator decide the purse split. I don't know. As for Trevor Bryan, Okay, it's Shock Loose. It's Shock Loose Manuel Char. Manuel Char, who seems to make a living out of not fighting. OMG. Great live stream as per usual, say the Lisa Bales. Okay, and the Lady Chan is feeling much better. That's good to know, Lady Chan. But anyway, Mr. Raphael Dawkins, show your support by hitting the bell icon. Show your support by sharing the videos. Share your support by hitting that like button if you like what you see and what you're hearing. It's Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio. Hit that bell icon. We're out.